Hey guys, this is Brian Sapinski and
Scott Goldiner.
all right, both from Lost Silver Productions here. Yes, we're doing this like a live show in a sense because we are here live this moment. But we're doing this because I was going to do this on Saturday from the floor of Liberty City Anime Con. We were going to do our short shots of Convention Attention Abridged and the game show Talking Fun Lightning Round there on the floor of the con on Saturday, but life happens in a couple of different ways. So we're gonna do it now. So it's Monday, 7 o'clock, and we're just gonna make this very quick. But so this is both Convention Attention Abridged and the game show Talking Fun Lightning Rounds for this past week of what was it? It's 22nd now, so it's the 15th through 19th. Well, who cares at this point? So anyway, so we got Scott here. We want to just mention first that, as I said, we were going to do this on the floor of Liberty City Anime Con, where the two of us and Paul Williams, our teammate who is not here at the moment. We had a very busy weekend at Liberty City Anime Con, and to those of you who saw us, and we know there were quite a few people, we appreciate you guys coming to take part in all of our shows. We were very busy, weren't we, Scott?
Yep.
You can keep talking. It's okay. Feel free to elaborate. Without spoilers, of course.
Right. But we had a great time with it. And from what I heard from Paul when speaking with him on the phone, a lot of people enjoyed our shows and everything.
Yeah, we trust that when we do get to these episodes, because we've got a few episodes from some earlier conventions on the back burner right now that have to go up first. But when we do get to these, we promise that you guys out there are going to enjoy them. We've got, count them, 6 games for you guys to see. You've got first Paul doing Caesar's Challenge, then myself with Press Your Luck, then Paul again with Family Feud, then Scott, you had your turn on Friday night with Card Sharks.
Yep.
Correct. Okay, and then unfortunately, work called you in at the last minute on Saturday, so that you couldn't make it. So Paul ended up taking your spot doing the challengers after I did trump card first. So we got 6. Our whole non-celebrity lineup currently as exists. No spoilers. Okay, for what we're playing in the future. Don't say a word, you.
No, I was going to say, I guess in a way that owes me a challenger somewhere.
Well, we'll figure it out. But anyway, but like I said, we got 6 games ready to show you. They're gonna appear along with some of our episodes from the spring of different things. During this fall season, all right? Because we've got a little downtime on our hands while we plan our next big gigs. And like I said, so all of us that saw us in Liberty City, and I know we made a few new friends or whatever, because I know we've got a few more subscribers now on the Facebook channel, and for those of you guys seeing it, hey, welcome to you. We love you all. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed everything. And at the same time, I don't know what else to say about that, but like I said,
and thank you all for taking part in the Family Feud survey at the very last minute.
Yes, we had a little impromptu that we needed a few more questions. So the day of on Friday, we got a lot of things ripping both on Facebook and live in the con floor. We made it. We got the surveys we needed. We got them tallied real fast, so everything went as it was supposed to go. And Saturday was just as a little wacky too, because like I said, other than Scott getting called into work at the last minute, not being able to make it, I had my own calamities as well, because yes, you know that story, and a friends of mine who or who's now a friends or whatever, who turned out to be our Press Your Luck champion, was there to see me a bit waterlogged on Saturday, because as I walked from Port Authority to the Crown Plaza, about 7 or 8 blocks down or whatever, I'm on a 15-minute monsoon decided to hit New York City, and I was completely and absolutely clobbered. I have a Liberty City Anime Con staff shirt upstairs, in my room because that's what I had to change into just to get dry for a little bit or whatever. I was also like totally barefoot the whole time I was at the con on Saturday because my shoes were completely soaked and things like that. I had a towel stuffed in them trying to dry them out, and it was just like ay, 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 ay. It was crazy, all right? And I will say this, all right, we also, on that Saturday, I would have liked to have done this a little bit longer, but again, Rain decided to give me its own plans. Oh, yeah, plus I was also 45 minutes late to getting to the con in the first place because the bus that I took in from Jersey to the up to Port Authority was stuck around MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands for about a half hour, 45 minutes, because the entire world decided, oh, we're going to tailgate for Kenny Chesney's concert a little early. So it was weird, however. Nonetheless,
is he country music or something?
Oh yeah, Kenny Chesney. Yeah, he's one of the big country music acts in the world. You never heard the song "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy"?
No.
Never heard of that one? Go listen to it after we're done with this.
I'm not a big country music fan.
It's a very silly song. You'd actually like it a lot or whatever. You know, I've got a couple other country artists because my family is big on country music or whatever. So like I said, Kenny Chesney is not necessarily one of the ones that I listen to ever, but listen to that song. It's funny. That's the one that launched him to big worldwide fame and stuff. Whatever. You'd get a kick out of it, I bet. But anyway, that's another story for another time. So anyway, though, between those two things, what I was able to do for a couple of hours before we did Trump Card and the Challengers, and this is something that we did for the first time, is that we're trying to get some for those two games, because there are hardcore trivia games, and we're going to have some others that are coming down the road. We're looking to try to get more people that know their stuff coming in when we play those games. So we decided for the first time to do an audition test, and we kept the audition test very simple. I put together a list of 40 names of people, places, and things from all different anime, video games, American animation, live action stuff, and you just had to simply name where they all came from, just as many as you could pop out. The best that we did on the test, I had 3 people that got 22 out of the 40, which I think for a first effort, for a first attempt at this, was pretty good. But we'll see where things go as we do this more often and we create new versions of the test. So, but you should enjoy everything. I'll say this: not everybody that took the test showed up at the panel that day or whatever. So if there seems to be little discrepancies in player quality, before when we get to Trump Card and the Challengers, that may be the reason why. But we'll separate fact from fiction once the episodes actually go up. We'll talk about it in a future Convention Attention podcast. Anyway, so that's what happened with us the weekends. Now we got a couple minutes, and I just want to keep this brief since we didn't get to do the short shots for the lightning round and abridged on Friday or Saturday. We're just going to take a couple of quick items now in both categories, and from there we'll talk about, we've got a game show Talking Fun podcast this Friday night at 8 o'clock for anybody who can make it. I'll give you the topic on that in just a moment. First, for the lightning round side, let's talk about a couple of things. First item, we've got two new music game shows that are coming up that are going to be airing in the fall. Over on Fox, Mark Burnett is going to be doing the show Beat Shazam, which is going to be a Name That Tune style show. But what this is going to do is, for the champion of the game, you're going to have to beat the music app Shazam in being able to identify the name of the song. Everybody does it when they're out, and having it play when they hear the music or whatever the situation is, try to say, oh, wait, what's the name of that song? Now you've got to do it before the app can. And over on Spike, they're going to be doing a new show now in November called Tracks, which you have to name that tune based on one layer of the music, whether it be just the guitars or just the bass or just the keyboard or whatever it is. You've got to identify the song just from that one layered track of the song. So, Scott, of the two, which one would you be looking more forward to?
The one on Fox.
So you want Beat
Since I tend to
Shazam?
do, because I tend to do that with the radio in the car when I'm with my folks.
Oh, okay. Well, you mean while you're driving, you'll take the Shazam app out and
No,
be
I
like,
don't
oh,
actually
what's
have.
this?
I don't app for it, but mainly like we'll put on the oldie station, and I can I can probably name the tune within like 10 seconds before the song actually starts in, like during the intro. So this was like
Oh,
back in the.
okay. So you're
This was,
talking about just playing the song normally. Yeah, I will say this: the tracks thing is going to be very interesting to see. Like, just knowing that the song is obviously going to sound incredibly different with only one piece of instrument playing the song or whatever. And if you think about it, Name That Tune was always interesting enough in its own right, knowing that you had an orchestra trying to play pop songs and rock and roll songs and things like that. So it's going to be a crazy spin in its own right, but I guess we'll find out as we go. So
and hopefully Fox doesn't mess it up like what they've done with all their other shows.
well, probably most notably with regards to don't give away the results in the teasers and stuff like that. That's the only thing that worries me about Fox's shows and things like that, wherever the case is. So who knows? We'll find out. Now, the other big news of this past week, other than having those two new games here in the States, is the sort of farewell for a once great game show in the UK. I mean, it's still great, but I'll explain in a second. Over across the pond in the UK, Deal or No Deal is going to be ending its well over a decade run in the studio in the UK for Channel 4. Channel 4 has already announced the cancellation of the studio version of the show, but host Noel Edmonds said this is not the end for Deal or No Deal, because after the current season, they're going to start airing the final season of the studio version of Deal or No Deal in the fall, but they are then going to be taking the show on the road. They're going to be visiting many different landmarks around the UK, and they're going to be bringing the show to the fans, as Noel said. He said this is something that they've been talking about doing for at least 6 months now, and now they're going to finally get the chance to do it. So, yeah, your take on all that, Scott?
It's kind of like the road shows that we get for Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune whenever they decide to take them out of the studios. Than from what we see here, but it would be interesting to see how the setup is for it, if they actually if they have a makeshift studio for them, or if they're going to be playing outside with the landmarks or the landscape in the background.
Very possible. Oh, I think that might be the intention. I mean, like I said, this is all in the planning stages at the moment or whatever, but they're apparently gonna go through with it or whatever the case is. So I guess we'll find out in that regard. But given that you're talking about a show that right now, as of last note, according to the articles that GameShowNewsNet.com is referencing, they're saying that at its peak, Deal or No Deal in the UK was getting 4 million viewers. Its current viewership is only at about 300,000. So it has come down in the last several years. So you had to figure with such low viewership, the time was eventually going to come for a great franchise. I mean, it's practically gone Australia, if it's not actually gone. I've lost track over time, but you knew it had to come to an end. But hey, it has been a great run. It's still one of the greatest game shows of all time. Oh shoot, that's right. I gotta remember. We got till tonight to reinsert our 50 greatest over to the game show forum, Matt Ottinger's old board. So if you got a top 50 to submit, Scott, and any of you out there, get it written up real quick and send it over to them tonight, because they're going to start tabulating the results. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, get me after the show, and I'll take care of that. All right.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you right now, because remember, I gotta leave after we do this. So I'll be thinking. I'll be thinking about it in the car as I'm going a couple places. All right. So that's the convention. That's the lightning round side. Real quick now for the convention attention to bridge side. Two little quick items that we're going to mention about here. Both of these that we did in questions during this weekend shows. One, Nintendo once again at it. This time, after 2 weeks ago canceling the shutting down the fan-made Metroid 2 remake. Now, last week they issued a DMAC shutdown on a fan version of the traditional Pokemon games called Pokemon Uranium. So they're just continuing to do their thing. However, granted, I think this one makes the most sense that they shut down because it's like I said, it's in their rights to do it, but it's just a matter of all right, this one you're still talking about first run stuff. It's a little weird, but Scott, I know you aren't necessarily a fan of them doing this stuff.
No, and I just want to mention to anyone out there that and I was watching, and I got this from Alpha Omega Sin. You can check out his video on his take on both Nintendo shutting down AM2R and Pokemon Uranium. Yes, they may have shut down the links from the sites themselves, but a quick Google search, or if you have like uTorrent or something, then you can find them. Nintendo can actually stop torrents because since they're peer-to-peer and stuff.
Okay, but all right, well here, don't encourage anything. Be careful, you. All right, so just keep that.
I mean,
I understand what you're saying. Okay, but let's just be careful. Let's not get anybody more in trouble than they may already be in. Okay, so that's the last thing we want to happen, even for our limited viewership at the moment. Okay, so just.
Well, I actually downloaded Uranium. I haven't played it.
I gotcha. Don't worry about it. Just
okay, as I do, I'll give a shout out to it and see how I'll give my review to it on the show and everything, and let you know if I like it or not.
Okay, all right. And like I said, don't get too crazy with it. Okay, and then okay, well, another time, Scott. No. We gotta move this. All right, and then another thing we've got real quick here is that today, I think, a matter of fact, and this has been in the announcements for a couple of weeks about the Bleach manga ending, and I think the issue of Weekly Shonen Jump, which now contains the final volume of the manga, that now they're in the final manga of Bleach. It's going to be all over, but there was supposed to be a surprise announcement that was going to come with that final volume, and the special announcement is that a live-action movie now is officially going to be in the works for Bleach in Japan. It's set for an early 2018 release over in Japan. I'm sure eventually it's going to find its way over in some kind of a dub over here in the States or however it is that they plan to do it. I'm always speculating about that part, but the fact that we're getting a live action, now that everything is gonna wrap up with the great franchise in the manga, I would assume, Scott, that's a very good thing. Yes.
Well, it's sad to say that's one of the big three going down. That's the second. No, I'm sorry. That's the second one of the big three that has ended.
The first one being
Naruto. Naruto ended. The big three, for anyone who doesn't understand, that's Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
Okay. I'm sure there's going to be some debate about that. And you know what? Maybe we'll talk about it on a future convention attention. Maybe we'll talk about what people's definition of the big three or the big five or whatever you think the big ever how many, because that will always be an eternal debate. So you might have come up with a good topic for a future show. But like I said, but that's another thing for another time. But still good that they're going to be making this movie, though, to keep the franchise alive in a sense.
It's going to be hard. I mean, given the track record with anime to live action does not translate well.
Well, again, because we already talked about in a previous abridged how we're going to get Pokemon here in the States or whatever. Oh yeah, and yeah, since we'll mention that real quick, knowing that now the creator of Gravity Falls is in on the writing talks, as well as one of the writers who put together Guardians of the Galaxy. They're starting to. Right now, the ball's in their court in terms of writing the scripts for our Pokemon live-action movie. So maybe we'll see if one of those two, like I said, bucks the trends. We'll find out. True?
True, and hopefully Michelle does her voices for the Pokemon that are actually in the movie.
Well, I have no clue how they're going to do that, but like I said, it's all in the early stages. We'll figure out where it all goes at the moment. So I'm sure as more details come out, we'll find out, courtesy of Kotaku or Anime News Network as we get most of our source, and we'll be sure for you folks out there to let you know what's going on. So we'll pass it along to you. In the meantime, though, we've got to run, but before we go, first, for those on the game show side of the coin, we have our next game show Talkin' Fun podcast this Friday night, 8 p.m. Please join us for our third episode. And we have decided we're going to do a classic. What was that? I heard a bing. Was that you? Was that
my
you,
cat.
Scott? Oh, okay.
That might have been my cat.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so real quick, in deciding our next episode, we're going to be doing something we used to do back in the old radio days. We're going to be devoting our main topic to a roundtable discussion, dissecting a classic game show from back in the day. And in honor of one of the shows that we did this past weekend at Liberty City, we're going to be talking about the Challengers this Friday night. So if you were a Challengers fan, or even if you're old enough to remember the old Who, What, or Where game that it was originally based on, so please, come and join us this Friday night, 8 p.m. Scott and I will be here. David Hammonds will hopefully be here as well as Paul Williams, and as many of you that wish to join in on the Google Hangout chat. And yes, we know Google Hangouts ending soon. Yes, we got the memo too. We're working on it. So that's going to be there. So come join us. Come join us for Game Show Talkin' Fun, guys, this Friday night, 8 p.m. And don't forget, as we always keep saying, if you like this and you like everything you're seeing here, please make sure like, share, and subscribe. Hit all those buttons down in the below this video. Be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/LostSilverProductions. Please join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/LostSilver, because we want to be able to expand our game show operations for the convention scene, maybe beyond. Who knows? I know Scott wants a lot of stuff in that. And believe me, we got some nice swag based on the operation that we want to be able to pass along to you. So please help us out. And do whatever you can for the operation. Until then, we got to run. We'll see you this Friday night at 8 p.m. for Game Show Talkin' Fun. So for myself and for that guy, Scott Goldiner, my name is Brian Sapinski, and we are from Lost Silver Productions. And we will see you again on the con floor and here in the game show world very soon. Take care.